Ambitious but stuck, your brain is faking you out. You're ambitious but lazy, at least that's the story, right? Big goals on Sunday, zero momentum by Tuesday, then the shame loop. Why can't I just do it? You're not broken. Your brain is predicting avoidance, not proving you're lazy. And that prediction beats willpower every time. Today, I'll show you how to reframe your identity and install a 5-layer system so action feels natural, not forced. There's a secret step that flips effort from heavy to automatic, and a common mistake that cements the lazy label. We start with the lie you've believed, because once that's gone, everything else gets easier. The lie, "I'm lazy," is a learned prediction, not your personality. If you keep calling yourself lazy, your brain treats it like a weather report, fixed, inevitable, out of your control. That label hardwires avoidance. It shrinks your goals, kills motivation, and turns every dip in energy into proof you're the problem. Here's the thing most people miss. Your brain isn't telling the truth, it's making a prediction based on past outcomes. This clicked for me when I learned about predictive processing, also called predictive coding. Your brain is a prediction machine. It tries to reduce surprise by guessing what you'll do next, using recent evidence, emotional memories, and context, then updates those guesses via reinforcement learning style, prediction error signals. If the last 5 times you sat down to study you scrolled instead, your brain predicts scroll, not because that's true about you, but because it expects the same outcome again. Identity feels stable, but it's just a shortcut your brain uses to save energy. Why does this matter? Because when you attach "I'm lazy" to your self-image, you stop negotiating with the real problem, mismatched predictions. You try to add more motivation or shame yourself into action. Both fail. Shame is a threat signal. Your nervous system avoids threats. Motivation spikes are unstable. Predictions are stable until you feed them new evidence. So what's the better method? Replace identity labels with behavior patterns tied to triggers. Instead of "I'm lazy," say, "I avoid when the next step is fuzzy," or "I avoid when the task has lots of open loops," or "I avoid when my phone is within reach." That subtle shift moves you from character judgment to prediction inputs, things you can change. Let me show you exactly how. Take a task you're avoiding, say, start research paper. Ask, "What did I do last time? What happened right before I avoided? What was I feeling?" If you see "opened a new tab," felt overwhelmed, checked notifications, your pattern isn't laziness, it's ambiguity plus a cue. Now you can target the ambiguity and the cue instead of attacking your identity. Quick micro story. A student I coached used to say, "I'm just not a disciplined person." She had a C average and a phone glued to her hand. We changed the label to, "I avoid when tasks are unscoped and my phone is visible." First change, every study session began with a 60-second scoping checklist. Define 1 question to answer, list 3 sources, set a 15-minute timer. She also put her phone in another room. 6 weeks later, her average jumped to a B+, then an A the next term. Her personality didn't change, her predictions did because the inputs did. Now here's where most people mess up. They try to counter "I'm lazy" with positive affirmations alone. "I am productive, I am motivated." If you don't change the evidence your brain sees, affirmations become noise. Your brain trusts prediction error more than pep talks. It updates when you deliver small, reliable wins that contradict the old script, especially recent, low-friction wins. If you remember nothing else, remember this: identity trails evidence. Not the other way around. You don't need to feel like a doer first. You need tiny receipts your brain can't argue with. Let me give you a quick win you can do right now. Grab 3 tasks you've been avoiding and write this sentence for each. "I predict I'll avoid when," then finish it with the trigger. For example, "I predict I'll avoid when the first step isn't concrete." "I predict I'll avoid when my phone buzzes." "I predict I'll avoid when I haven't eats." This takes 2 minutes and instantly shifts you from shame to diagnostics. You're telling your brain, "We're not judging, we're updating the model." Okay, so prediction changes when the brain sees evidence that the old guess is wrong. That means our job isn't to try harder, it's to feed the system the right inputs. Coming up, we'll reduce the friction that your brain has been misreading as a character flaw. Because once friction drops, your predictions change, your actions change, and that ambitious but lazy story stops making sense, even to you. The real driver, friction, not character. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Resistance isn't proof of a bad personality, it's a sign of bad friction design. Most people feel that internal pushback and think, I'm failing, so they try to add motivation. But motivation poured on top of friction just evaporates. Remove friction and action feels normal. Before we continue, you need to understand the 3 kinds of friction that block momentum: activation, ambiguity, and anxiety. Activation is the energy cost to start. Ambiguity is not knowing what doing it looks like. Anxiety is the fear cost, evaluation, rejection, or perfection pressure. If you misdiagnose the friction, you'll grab the wrong tool. Let me show you exactly how to diagnose. Take one task you keep dodging and ask 3 questions. Activation. What's the first annoying step before I can actually do the work? Ambiguity. Could a stranger describe my next action without asking me questions? Anxiety. What's the risk my brain is trying to avoid? Judgment, mistakes, or wasted effort? Once you nail that, everything else clicks. For example, the gym. If you fail to go, it's usually activation friction, packing a bag, finding shoes, travel time. So you solve activation, not identity. Lay out clothes, set a 10-minute warm arrival goal, pick a default routine. You'll feel different because the task starts already in motion. Now writing. If you stare at a blank page, that's ambiguity friction. Write chapter isn't a step, it's a fog. Reduce ambiguity with templates, prompts, or constraints. Paste outline headers, write one ugly paragraph under each is concrete. The brain loves certainty because it can predict progress, which lowers avoidance. Outreach or networking, that queasy feeling is anxiety friction. You're predicting pain, rejection, awkwardness, being judged. Treat it like exposure with armor. Script a 3-line template, set a send one, then walk, rule, and track sends as wins. You're not trying to be fearless, you're making the perceived risk survivable. The thing most people miss is they try to add motivation instead of removing friction. They watch a hype video, write a vision board, and still stall. Why? Because the cost to start, the fuzziness, or the fear hasn't changed. Your nervous system is rational. High friction equals high avoidance. Reduce friction, and your identity magically improves. Let's run a 3F scan on a real task so it sticks. Say the task is prepare presentation. Activation, do the slides exist? Is PowerPoint open? Is your deck folder hard to find? Ambiguity. Do you know the story arc, 3 key points, and the audience? Anxiety. Are you worried about Q&A or a tough stakeholder? Now map fixes. Activation, open the deck template and pin it to your taskbar. Ambiguity, write a 1-sentence thesis and 3 supporting bullets. Anxiety, draft 3 likely objections and 1 calm answer for each. Notice how the task just got lighter without more discipline. Micro story. Last week, a client couldn't start daily runs, kept calling herself lazy. We found activation friction, shoes buried, no route, unpredictable weather. We solved it with a doorframe hook for shoes, a default 12-minute loop, and an out-and back rule when raining. She ran 5 days that week. Same person, different friction. The reason this works is your brain conserves energy by avoiding high-cost starts and high-uncertainty paths. Predictive systems prefer low-surprise sequences. When you design low activation, high clarity, and safe exposure, your brain updates its forecast from avoid to approach. That's identity change from the bottom up. Okay, so the tricky part is knowing which friction dominates when all 3 show up. Use the 60-second test. If opening the tool and staging the workspace makes you move, activation was the bottleneck. If you still spin once you're set up, ambiguity is next. If you're clear and ready but hesitate right before sending or sharing, that's anxiety. Tackle in that order. Here's a quick win you can do today. Pick one avoided task and run the 3F scan. Activation, make the first step 1 click away. Ambiguity, write the next action in 10 words or less. Anxiety, pre-write the first draft is allowed to be bad rule or a 1-message script. Now, common mistakes. Don't over-automate and create hidden activation elsewhere. Example, complex to-do systems add clicks. Keep tools dumb and fast. Don't confuse clarity with planning rabbit holes. Aim for first physical motion, not a perfect roadmap. And don't wait for anxiety to disappear. Lower the stakes with smaller exposures and explicit floors. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Motivation is a symptom of low friction. When the cost to start drops and the path is concrete and safe, motivation shows up uninvited. That's why ambitious but lazy melts when tasks are designed to start themselves. Once friction drops, we need a new identity scaffold so the wins repeat. You'll build it with self-image, standards, and systems stacked together. That's next. Identity architecture. The 3-layer stack: self-image, right arrow, standards, right arrow, systems. Once friction drops, you need a scaffolding that keeps your brain predicting action by default. Identity doesn't stick because you decide it. It sticks because your behavior keeps proving it. That's why we use a 3-layer stack: self-image, standards, systems. Think of it as who you are, what you refuse to drop, and how your day makes that inevitable. Why this matters: behavior loops back into identity. If your identity is vague, I'm a writer, I'm fit, I'm focused, your brain can't predict what that looks like right now, so it defaults to old scripts. Standards anchor your identity with non-negotiables. Systems remove the daily decision load. Once those align, the prediction engine sees the same pattern repeatedly and updates your story. What the layers are clearly. Self-image is the verb-based role you choose: train, write, study, lead, care. Choose verbs, not prestige nouns. Writer is fine, but I write is stronger because it cues action. Standards are measurable floors you keep even on bad days. Floors, not ceilings. 200 ugly words, 10 push-ups after coffee, 2 pages before lunch. Systems are the repeatable supports, tools, triggers, templates, time blocks that make the standards easier than skipping. Now how to install it. For one domain, pick one identity verb, one standard, one system. Keep each brutally specific. Identity verb: I write. Standard: 200 ugly words before 10 a.m. System: open my template at a dedicated writing desk, run a 10-minute timer, and accept typos. Notice the constraints: time, place, tool, and permission to be bad. That's how you beat perfection and keep evidence flowing. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. The stack must be load-bearing. If your standard still depends on a good mood, it isn't a standard, it's a wish. Make it so small it survives low energy, social plans, cramps, and a chaotic inbox. Then put your system in the path of least resistance. If your desk is cluttered, your system is broken before you start. Example you can swipe. Identity: I train. Standard: 5 minutes of mobility right after brushing teeth. System: mat unrolled next to the bathroom door, phone timer labeled mobility, playlist preloaded. Another. Identity: I study. Standard: 5 pages with margin notes at 8 p.m. System: textbook lives on the dining table, pen in the spine, 8 p.m. alarm says pages plus notes, phone parked in the hallway. These aren't motivational quotes, they're physics: short distances, fewer choices. Now here's where most people mess up. They stop at the noun. I'm a runner. Cool, what's your standard? If you can't answer in numbers, your identity has no teeth, or they set a ceiling, not a floor. I'll run 5 miles daily. 2 days later, you miss, shame flares, prediction reverts. Replace with a floor, put on shoes and walk 1 block, and let extra be a bonus, not an identity requirement. Another mistake: stacking too many identities at once. Your brain updates from recent, consistent evidence, not a crowded vision board. Pick one primary identity per season, one secondary for fun. Run the stack for 4 weeks before adding more. Boring consistency beats exciting inconsistency every time. Let me show you exactly how to write your one-line identity stack. Format: I verb, right arrow, floor, measurable minimum plus trigger, right arrow, system, tools, place, time. For example, I write, right arrow, floor, 200 ugly words after coffee, right arrow, system. Laptop on writing desk, template open, 10-minute timer. Put it on a sticky note where the action happens. The location matters because cues fire predictions. Why this works under the hood: your brain loves low surprise patterns. Standards create a predictable signal: we do this regardless. Systems reduce the cost to start and the ambiguity of what this is. Together, they produce frequent, low-friction wins. The prediction engine sees those wins and updates I avoid to I initiate, which changes how you feel before you start. You stop negotiating because there's nothing to negotiate. Okay, so the tricky part is upgrading without breaking the loop. When your floor feels easy for a whole week, raise one dial by 10%, more words, 1 extra minute, 1 more rep. Don't jump from 200 to 100. That creates prediction errors your brain will reject. Tiny upgrades keep the identity believable. Quick micro story. A client wanted to be a morning person and kept failing. We reframed to I plan my morning the night before. Standard. Stage 1 action for tomorrow. System. Notebook on pillow, write one line, open laptop, paste subheadings. She stopped trying to change her biology and changed her predictability. Within 2 weeks, mornings felt familiar, not heroic. Here's your quick win. Create one identity stack now. Identity verb, choose one that implies movement. Standard floor, make it so small you do it with the flu. System, name the tool, place, time, and a permission rule like ugly counts. Once this is written, you'll plug it into the 5-minute identity loop so the evidence compounds automatically. That's coming up next. The 5-minute identity loop, evidence before ego. This is the game changer, evidence before ego. Your brain updates identity from recent, low-friction wins, not from big declarations. So we'll use a tight loop, cue, 5-minute action, log, label, to generate constant proof that your new identity is real. When the proof piles up, the prediction engine flips from avoid to I do this. Why this matters? Big sessions create big resistance. 5-minute actions are too small to scare your nervous system, but they're big enough to produce prediction error against the old, I avoid script. Do that repeatedly and your brain starts to expect action. Expectation becomes identity. Here's the loop clearly. Cue, a reliable trigger like after coffee at your desk or 8 p.m. alarm. 5-minute action, a small physical behavior that matches your identity stack. Log, record the exact evidence, date, action count. Label, say the identity out loud after the action, never before. I trained. I wrote. I studied. That order matters. Evidence first, identity second. Let me show you exactly how to set this up. Pick one identity stack you wrote. I write right arrow floor, 200 ugly words after coffee right arrow system, template plus 10-minute timer. Now shrink it to a 5-minute action so there's zero excuse friction. Open template and write 100 ugly words. Put a cue right where it happens, sticky note on your coffee mug, alarm named 100 ugly words. When the cue hits, do 5 minutes, then stop. Log it in a simple tracker, date, 100 words, mood, then label, I'm a person who writes daily. Now here's where most people mess up. They keep going when it feels good and burn out early. Don't do that. Stopping on a win teaches your brain, this is always easy to start and safe to finish. That preserves tomorrow's willingness. If you push into fatigue, your brain predicts hard, long, depleting, and avoidance returns. The loop is about identity momentum, not maximizing output. Examples help. Trained counts if you do 5 minutes of mobility or 1 set of push-ups. Studied counts if you read 5 pages and jot 3 margin notes. Built My Business counts if you send 1 outreach message or draft 1 product bullet. The goal isn't volume, it's uncontested proof. Your brain can't argue with a timestamp and a tiny action repeated daily. The reason this works is simple. Your brain weighs recency and consistency heavily. Yesterday's small win carries more identity weight than last month's marathon session. You're feeding it a steady stream of I do this data points, which reduces the uncertainty that drives avoidance. Low uncertainty lowers threat. Low threat makes starting feel normal. Okay, so the tricky part is picking the right 5-minute action. Use the FPM rule, first physical motion. If your identity is I write, your 5-minute action could be open doc, paste outline headers, write 3 bullet fragments. If your identity is I train, it's mat down, cat-cow, hip flexor stretch. If it feels like thinking, it's too abstract. Make your hands move. Let me add a micro story. A client couldn't restart coding after a long break. We set a 5-minute loop. Open editor, run the starter script, write 1 assert and 1 print. He logged assert written daily and labeled I code. 2 weeks later, his fear of I'm behind dissolved because every day ended with tangible proof. That's identity rehab through repetition. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't set a 5-minute action that still requires heavy setup. If your action needs 20 minutes of prep, it isn't 5. Stage tools ahead of time. Don't label before doing. That creates cognitive dissonance your brain rejects. And don't track streaks without a reset plan. You'll learn that soon. But for now, prioritize today's receipt over perfect chains. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Make the log frictionless. Use a visible tally on your desk, a calendar X, or a one-line note on your phone. The log is your identity mirror. If logging is buried in an app, you'll skip it, and the identity boost disappears. You want to see the trail of receipts in under 3 seconds. If you remember nothing else, remember this: the loop must feel insultingly easy at first. Your only job is to show up, do 5, stop, log, label. Extra is a bonus, not the standard. When 5 minutes feels automatic for a whole week, nudge the minimum by 10 to 20%. Never double overnight. Protect predictability. Quick win for today: schedule a recurring 5-minute identity action right now. Choose a cue you already do daily: coffee, lunch, or shutting the laptop. Write the exact action and where it happens. Stage the tool before bed. Tomorrow, hit the cue, do 5, stop, log, and say, "I'm someone who verb." That's how ego follows evidence. Anxiety alchemy: turn avoidance into clear next steps. Now we'll handle the anxiety spike that quietly kills momentum. Anxiety happens when your brain predicts error. If the next step is fuzzy, your system flags high risk, low control, and you stall. So we'll turn fog into traction using a simple rule: define the first physical motion. When your hands know what to do, your brain relaxes. Why this matters: vague tasks inflate threat. Work on thesis carries infinite possibilities, so your brain imagines worst-case outcomes: criticism, wasted hours, looking dumb. That fear isn't proof you can't do it. It's a signal that your next step isn't concrete. Once the step is physical and specific, uncertainty drops and approach behavior returns. Here's the technique. Rewrite every task into FPM format: verb plus object plus location plus constraint. That S do this to that where under this rule. Keep it short enough to fit on one line. Avoid mental verbs like plan, figure out, or decide. Choose motions you could film with your phone. If you can't see it, it isn't physical enough. Let me show you exactly how. Start essay becomes open Google Docs, paste the 3 outline headers, set a 15-minute timer. Verb, open paste set. Object, docs headers timer. Location, your laptop at the desk. Constraint, 15 minutes. Another, study biology turns into open chapter 5 PDF, read page 62, circle unfamiliar terms. Do finances becomes open bank app, export last month's statement, highlight charges over $50. These aren't glamorous, they're doable. The reason this works is you're shifting from outcome goals to process cues. Outcomes are evaluative and trigger perfection. Processes are executable and trigger motion. Your brain wants to predict success quickly. Paste headers is a near certain win. That early success reduces arousal and builds belief for the next step. Okay, so the tricky part is choosing the right granularity. Too small and you'll spend all day setting timers. Too big and ambiguity returns. Use the 2-step runway. Your FPM must be something you can do in under 2 minutes that naturally leads into a 5 to 15-minute chunk. Example, open slides deck tends to roll into duplicate template slide and then fill bullet 1. If you stall after FPM, that's fine, you earned the start. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't hide decisions inside your FPM. Open dataset and choose model still contains choose, which invites rumination. Split it, open dataset and write down 3 candidate models, then later, pick one model using X rule. Second, don't write compound FPMs with and chains, choose one motion that unlocks the next. Finally, don't schedule FPMs far from their location. If the action happens at your desk, the cue should live at the desk. Micro story, a client dreaded outreach. The task, email potential mentors, sat in her planner for weeks. We rewrote it to FPM, open Gmail drafts, paste this 3-line template, add one name from LinkedIn tab. She sent one in 3 minutes, then another. The anxiety dropped because she wasn't being judged. She was pasting, adding, sending. Let me give you a simple decision tree. If you think, I don't know where to start, it's an ambiguity problem, use FPM. If you think, what if it's wrong? It's an anxiety problem, lower stakes with constraints like first draft can be bad or send to a friendly reviewer. If you think, so much to set up, it's activation, stage the tool the night before. Often, you'll use FPM plus a constraint to neutralize anxiety. Add constraints intentionally. Time boxes like 10-15 minutes keep perfection from creeping in. Quantity caps like 3 bullets or 1 paragraph prevent scope creep. Quality permissions like ugly counts tell your nervous system this is a safe experiment, not a final performance. Constraints shrink the arena so you can move. Here's a quick pattern for high-stress tasks: FPM plus safety plus stop signal. For example, open portfolio doc, paste project titles, set 12-minute timer, stop when timer rings. Safety might be first pass can be bullet fragments only. The stop signal prevents overexertion and protects tomorrow's willingness. Now you try. Convert 3 fuzzy tasks right now. Write each as one line with verb, object, location, constraint. Examples you can steal. Open Notion task page, list 3 substeps for Module 2, 10-minute cap. Open Calendar, drag 30-minute block labeled BioDraft, add Zoom location. Open Kitchen counter, lay out chicken, salt, pan, set oven to 425 degrees F. Notice each one creates immediate motion. No debate required. The thing most people miss is your brain wants closure, not conquest. When your FPM is clear, you get quick closure, which reduces anxiety and invites the next action. That's how momentum compounds. Here's your quick win. Pick the biggest task on your list and write the FPM now. Place it where action happens, sticky note on your laptop or index card on your textbook. Then, during your next 5-minute identity loop, run that FPM first. Do it, stop, log, label. You'll feel the difference because your brain finally knows what to do. Energy timing. Align effort with your natural peaks. Even with clear steps and tiny wins, you'll still have days where your brain feels like sludge. That's not laziness, that's timing. Your energy isn't flat, it cycles. If you throw deep work into your lowest window, your brain logs hard, slow, painful, and predicts avoidance tomorrow. So we'll align work type with your natural peaks. Why this matters? Mismatched tasks create false, lazy data. When you try to write at 3 p.m. after a decision-heavy morning, the cognitive fuel is already spent. Your brain tags writing as exhausting. Align the right task to the right window and effort drops 30–50% without changing your willpower. Once alignment clicks, momentum feels normal. Here's the simple model. Most people have 4 windows daily. Peak, your best focus, usually mid-morning for many. Quiet brain, high dopamine, fewer distractions. Trough, a mid-afternoon dip, lower vigilance, higher mistakes. Rebound, late afternoon, early evening, energy returns but attention is more scattered. Recovery, evening wind down, good for reflection, low-stakes planning, or social. Now you might be thinking, I'm not a morning person. That's fine. The pattern still holds, the times shift. Night owls often hit peak late morning or early afternoon, sometimes even evening. The point isn't 5 a.m. heroics. It's matching task type to your personal window. What to do with it? Assign your identity task to your peak, admin to the trough, social outreach to rebound, and recovery to planning or learning. Identity tasks are the ones that feed your stack: writing, training, studying, building. Admin is email, scheduling, file cleanup, small errands. Social is calls, meetings, carking. Recovery is review, journaling, light reading, and tomorrow prep. Let me show you exactly how to map your day. For the next 3 days, log energy every 2 hours with 3 words: alertness, mood, focus. Rate each one 5. You'll see a pattern fast. Mark the top 2 blocks as peak, the lowest as trough, the medium as rebound, and the late slot as recovery. Then drag tasks to windows accordingly. Example schedule you can swipe. 10-12, identity block, outline 2 sections, or 200 ugly words or 1 problem set. 2-3, admin trough emails, calendar, receipts. 4-5, social rebound, DMs, calls, brainstorming. 7-9, recovery review notes, set tomorrow's FPMs, read 10 pages. The thing most people miss is they stack deep work after a morning of micro decisions. By 11 a.m., they've burned attention on Slack pings and tiny choices. Protect your peak like a meeting with your future self. Put a do not disturb block around it and stage it the night before. Your brain should arrive and start, no detours. Okay, so the tricky part is when life doesn't respect your windows, classes, shifts, kids, use a mini peak strategy. You can manufacture a 30–45-minute focus pocket by doing 3 things: light fuel, water plus protein, 2-minute walk or mobility to raise arousal, and a fast FPM to enter flow. Turn off notifications and commit to one tiny outcome. It's not perfect, but it beats fighting your trough. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't treat the trough like failure. It's a design constraint. Put low-stakes tasks there so you can still rack up wins. Don't put meetings in your peak unless they move your identity forward. And don't overfill your peak with 5 goals, choose one outcome, and let extra be bonus. You want predictability more than intensity. Micro story. I coached a grad student who insisted she could only write at night. She was exhausted, calling herself lazy at 11 p.m. We tested a 45-minute late morning sprint post-class with a staged doc and a 10-minute timer. First week, 3 days of 300-500 words. Her brain updated. Writing belongs here. Evenings became recovery, and the shame loop quieted down. Here's a quick diagnostic you can run tomorrow morning. Ask, if I only get one meaningful thing done today, what would make tomorrow easier? Do that in your first peak block. Everything else can flex. That single decision prevents decision creep from eating your best window. Let me give you a simple weekly pattern. Choose 3 peak hour identity blocks across the week, moan, wed, fry from 10-12, for instance. Make them recurring. Put your admin batch daily at trough, social batch and rebound twice a week, and recovery nightly. You won't hit it perfectly, but the structure will catch you most days. Quick win, open your calendar right now and add 1 peak hour identity block this week. Title it with your verb, write 200 ugly words, and add your FPM in the description. Turn off alerts during that block. When it fires, run your 5-minute identity loop inside it, then keep going only if it feels light. Protect that window and your identity compounds. Dopamine boundaries. Make distraction inconvenient, not forbidden. Now we'll remove the tug-of-war with your phone. Willpower loses to engineered platforms. They're built to hijack attention with variable rewards, social cues, and infinite scroll. So don't fight fair, change the battlefield. We're going to raise friction on distractions and lower friction on focus so your identity gets a fair fight. Why this matters? If your brain sees a bright, buzzing device within reach, it predicts quick dopamine and low effort. That prediction beats your plan every time. Under the hood, variable reward schedules plus fast cue reactivity train approach habits that outcompete intentions. You don't need a digital detox fantasy. You need simple boundaries that make distraction inconvenient and focus convenient. Think friction up, reward down, disable cues, delay access, batch pleasure. Here's the frame. We'll build a 2-wall system for your top distraction, a soft wall and a hard wall. The soft wall removes automatic cues, no badges, no banners, no sounds, grayscale display, and all time sync apps off the home screen. The hard wall delays access, app blockers with schedules, phone in another room during peak blocks, and a single screen rule, laptop or phone, never both. When you stack both walls, impulses hit a speed bump and most drop. Let me show you exactly how to set it up in 10 minutes. First, notification purge. Turn off all non-human notifications. Keep only calls and calendar. Switch your phone to grayscale, color is allure. Move social and video apps into a folder on the last screen named Later. Second, install an app blocker that schedules lockouts for your peak windows and your 5-minute identity loops. Third, create a physical boundary. During your identity block, put your phone in another room or a closed drawer with a charger. Out of sight, out of reach, out of mind. The single screen rule is sneaky powerful. When you work on your laptop, your phone rests face down away from your body. When you use your phone, close your laptop. 2 glowing rectangles double your switching costs and have your attention. This one change reduces micro switches that drain energy without you noticing. Now we add a reward window so you don't rebound binge. If you outlaw pleasure, your brain revolts later. Instead, schedule a post-work dopamine snack, 10 minutes of guilt-free scroll after a 90-minute focus block or after your day's identity action. That pairing rewires the reward prediction. Work first, then treat. Keep it timed and intentional. Pleasure isn't the problem, randomness is. Examples to copy. During a 90-minute writing block, notifications off, blocker on, phone and hallway. At the end, set a 10-minute timer for TikTok or Instagram. When the timer rings, stop, stand up, get water. That clean stop prevents drift into a 45-minute hole. Another, during studying, run YouTube only for specific tutorials, not the homepage. Use links only, not the feed. Feeds are slot machines, links are tools. Common mistakes. Total bans you can't sustain lead to rebound binges. Don't declare no phone for a month. make it inconvenient during work and convenient during recovery. Another mistake, hiding apps but leaving notifications on. You've removed the door but left the doorbell. Disable the bell. Finally, vague rules like, I'll use my phone less don't work. Rules need a time, a place, and a constraint. Okay, so the tricky part is emergencies and flexibility. Give yourself an escape hatch. Set one whitelist contact who can bypass Do Not Disturb. Keep a printed list or a note with alternate focus activities if the blocker fails. Stand, breathe, 1 FPM. If you must use your phone for a legitimate task, use a focus passport. Write the exact action, complete it, then move the phone away again. The reason this works is simple. Your attention system is cue-driven and cost-sensitive. By adding seconds and steps between you and the app, you flip the microeconomics of choice. If it takes 5 extra steps to open TikTok, but 1 step to open your dock, your brain picks the cheaper path. Over days, your prediction shifts. When I sit here, I work. That's identity-level change through environment. Micro story: a client swore she had no discipline. We put her phone in a kitchen drawer during 2 morning peak blocks, turned on grayscale, and set a 15-minute evening scroll window. Her words, I didn't get stronger. I just forgot my phone existed. That's the point. If you remember nothing else, remember this: you don't beat distraction by being tougher, you beat it by being farther. Here's your quick win. Build a 2-step wall for your top distraction tomorrow. Step 1, strip notifications, set grayscale, and bury the app. Step 2, set a scheduled blocker for your peak block and place your phone in another room. Then add a 10-minute reward timer after the block. Test it once. You'll feel the mental quiet, and your 5-minute identity loop will click easier. The floor not ceiling protocol: raise minimums, ignore maximums. Inconsistent peaks don't change identity, consistent floors do. Your brain updates from what happens most often, not from rare hero days. So we'll set floors. Can't fail minimums that survive low energy, bad moods, and messy schedules. Ceilings look impressive, but floors create identity. We'll raise minimums slowly and ignore maximums completely. Why this matters? When you tie your identity to big outputs, you build a fragile self-image. Miss once and your brain predicts failure next time. Floors flip that. You always have a small, doable action that counts. The win happens daily, not only on perfect days. That stability is what rewires I avoid into I do. Here's the principle in plain English. If you can't do a little, you won't do a lot. So design tinies that trigger without motivation. Make them context-based, not time-based, because time slots break, triggers travel with you. Attach floors to reliable cues: after coffee, when you sit at your desk, after brushing your teeth, when you open your laptop. What floors look like? Training floor might be 10 push-ups after coffee or 5-minute walk after lunch. Writing floor could be open doc and write 50 ugly words. Learning floor, read 2 pages and underline 1 sentence. Business floor, send 1 outreach message. Health floor, fill water bottle when you open your laptop. Each one is binary, done or not. Now here's where most people mess up. They set floors that still need motivation. Run 20 minutes is not a floor on a low-energy day. Put on shoes and walk 1 block is. If you need to negotiate, it's too big. Shrink until you do it with the flu, a headache, and 5 minutes before bed. Pride can make you choose floors that impress other people. Don't. Choose floors that catch you. Let me show you exactly how to build 3 floors: training, writing, learning, so you feel momentum today. Training floor, pick a physical motion that takes under a minute. 10 air squats after coffee, 5-minute mobility at the hallway mat, or 1 trip up the stairs when you finish lunch. Choose a placement you can't miss. Put shoes by the door, mat by the bathroom, timer labeled mobility. Writing floor, make it ridiculously concrete. Open doc, write 50 ugly words, or paste 1 bullet into the outline. Stage your template the night before. Keep ugly counts as a standing rule. Your floor isn't about quality, it's about being seen at the keyboard by your own brain. Learning floor, read 2 pages, mark 1 term, or watch 5 minutes of a lecture and take 3 notes. Put the book where you sit for snacks or tea, pen clipped inside. If your floor needs hunting for materials, it's not a floor, stage it. The thing most people miss is they reward going big by raising tomorrow's required effort. Don't escalate floors. Floors are sacred. They're the minimum that never moves unless it gets easier. You can do more on good days, but extra stays bonus. Your identity is built on the floor, not on the bonus. Okay, so the tricky part is how to level up without breaking the spell. Use the 10% rule. When a floor feels automatic for 7 straight days, increase the minimum by no more than 10-20%. 50 words becomes 60, 10 push-ups becomes 11 or 12, 2 pages becomes 3. Tiny upgrades keep the identity believable. Big jumps trigger avoidance. Let me add a micro story. A client wanted 1,000 words a day. She hit it twice, crashed, and ghosted her draft for a week. We swapped to a 50-word floor after coffee. She wrote 150 words most mornings. After 2 weeks, we lifted to 60. 2 months later, her average was 400 without a single zero. The magic wasn't output, it was no zeros. Common mistakes to avoid. Counting only real workouts or real sessions. If it meets the floor, it counts. Respect the receipt. Making floors time only. Study 10 minutes can turn into staring. Prefer outcome floors. Pages read, words written, sets done. Chaining floors to unreliable cues like after work if your finish time varies. Tie to actions you control. After I put my keys down. After I start the kettle. Use the floor test before you commit. Could you do it on a travel day, a period day, a migraine-light day, or after a long shift? If no, shrink it. If yes, lock it. Here's a practical way to wire floors into your day. The AAA Pass Anchor Action Artifact. Anchor is the cue. Action is the floor. Artifact is the proof you can see. Example, anchor finish coffee. Action 50 words. Artifact place a sticky dot on the calendar square. The artifact matters because identity loves visible evidence. Now your quick win. Set 3 floors you can hit even on low-energy days. 1 for training, 1 for writing or core work, 1 for learning. Write them as after anchor, I will tiny action that produces artifact. Put each where it happens, by the mug, on the desk, inside the book. Protect these floors. Ignore maximums. Consistent floors will carry you through every messy week and make I do your default. Environment autopilot, place, props, and pre-commitments. Environment beats willpower. Your surroundings load the behavior before you even decide. If your desk, phone, and room are wired for randomness, your brain predicts randomness. So we'll design 3 levers, place, props, and pre-commitments, so your identity fires on autopilot. Why this matters? Cues drive predictions. When the same place reliably triggers the same action, your brain expects it and saves energy for doing, not deciding. Props reduce activation friction by making the first physical motion 1 reach away. Pre-commitments lock your future self into constraints you won't negotiate with in the moment. Start with place. Separate zones by role. A writing zone should only host writing, not Netflix and snacks. A study nook is for notes, not scrolling. If you can't dedicate separate rooms, dedicate surfaces. 1 side of the table for deep work, the other for admin. Put a visual boundary, placemat, small desk mat, or even a colored tape line. Your brain ties context to behavior fast, but only if the context stays consistent. Now props. Stage the tool that makes the first move unavoidable. For writing, keep your laptop open to your template, cursor blinking at the first sentence. For training, mat unrolled, shoes visible by the door, water bottle filled. For filming, tripod standing on the desk, camera charged, memory card inserted. Props are physical prompts that say, "We've already started." The trick is leaving them visible and ready where action happens, not in a drawer. Let me show you exactly how to stage a default desk layout. Clear the surface to only today's identity task: laptop, template open, checklist card, pen, and a phone box to park the phone. Everything else lives out of reach. Use a simple checklist placed where your hand lands, FPM at top, timer length, stop signal, and log space. You're not organizing for pretty, you're arranging for launch speed. Pre-commitments are agreements with your future self that remove negotiation. Calendar invites to your self-count when they include the FPM and a stop time. Example, 10, 0, 0, 10, 50 right, paste headers plus 200 ugly words. Stop at 10, 50. Set a second alert at the stop to protect tomorrow's willingness. Add a recurring invite for your 5-minute identity loop inside peak windows so it survives busy days. This next part separates beginners from pros. Friction your distractions at the place level. If you work at a desk, keep a small, closed container labeled phone and charge it far from your dominant hand. On your laptop, install a website blocker tied to the desk's Wi-Fi network. When you're at that network, feeds are blocked by default. If you must access a tool like YouTube for tutorials, create a bookmarks-only rule. Links work, homepages don't. Okay, so the tricky part is small spaces and shared environments. Use portable identity kits. A writer's kit could be a laptop sleeve with a template card, noise-canceling earbuds, and a mini stand so any table becomes your writing zone. A study kit might include sticky notes, highlighter, and a one-page note format. When the kit opens, the roll begins. When it closes, the roll ends. That clear on-off helps your nervous system switch gears. Common mistakes to avoid: mixing work and play in the same physical spot without resetting. If your only desk has to do both, do a visible reset ritual. Close tabs, sweep the surface, place the checklist, and set the prop. Second, cluttered surfaces. Clutter equals micro-decisions and random cues. Keep only the next action's props visible. Third, relying on mental rules without physical anchors. If the cue isn't visible, it's invisible. Micro story. A client struggled to film weekly content. Her gear lived in a closet. Setup took 15 minutes, she bylaid. We staged the tripod permanently, left the key light plugged in, and preset a template scene in her camera app. She added a recurring calendar invite with mount phone, press record, speak one outline point. Filming went from rare to weekly because the environment started the session for her. The reason this works is your brain associates objects, positions, and lighting with states. Repeated pairings create automaticity. You sit in the writing chair, your fingers move. You step on the mat, your hips open. You see the checklist, your eyes scan FPM first. The environment is making the first 3 decisions, which are usually the ones you fumble. Now, pre-commitments beyond the calendar. Use public cues. Put a small whiteboard near your desk that lists today's identity action and a box to tick. Or, if public helps, stick a mini goal card on the fridge where your housemate or partner can see it. Not to shame you, just to increase prediction pressure. Your brain behaves differently when it believes others expect a result. Here's a fast setup you can do tonight in 5 minutes. Stage tomorrow's first action at the exact place it happens. Remove one non-task object from the surface. Place a checklist card with FPM, timer, stop, and log space. Park your phone in the box and put the charger there. Create a calendar invite that includes the FPM line. Add one more advanced move: constraint props. A kitchen timer beats your phone timer because it can't deliver notifications. Wired headphones during deep work remind you you're tethered to the task. A lap desk for reading keeps your book at a fixed angle that invites opening. Props that constrain options amplify focus. If you remember nothing else, remember this: don't ask your brain to start from zero. Make the place start you. Make the props move you. Make the pre-commitment end the debate. Do this once, and your identity will feel less like effort and more like gravity. Tonight, stage tomorrow's first action before bed. Let your environment do the heavy lifting while you sleep. Identity contracts, standards you share. Ready for the game changer? We're going to borrow a little social physics. Identity contracts turn your private standards into shared expectations, which adds just enough external pressure to keep your prediction engine honest. When someone else expects the behavior, and you've defined how you'll prove it, your brain predicts follow-through. That's the leverage you've been missing. Why this works: your brain is social. We're wired to keep promises we announce, especially when the promise is specific and the proof is visible. Not to people please, but to stay congruent. Public standards shrink wiggle room and reduce decision fatigue. Instead of "will I write today?" it becomes "I send proof by 9 p.m. Clear, binary, done. Here's the simple structure. 1 non-negotiable, 1 witness, 1 check-in ritual. Non-negotiable is your floor standard, tiny, measurable, and daily or near daily. Witness is 1 real human who understands the goal and agrees to receive proof. Check-in ritual is a fixed time and method to send a proof artifact, photo, screenshot, or short note. No essays, no debates, evidence only. Let me show you exactly how to set it up in 5 minutes. Step 1, pick the identity you're stacking: writer, trainee, student, builder. Step 2, define a concrete floor you can hit on low-energy days. Step 3, choose your witness: friend, sibling, coworker, or a small group chat. Step 4, set a daily check-in time and a proof type. Step 5, write the contract and send it. Use this template you can paste right now. I'm committing to floor behavior every day by time window. I'll send proof type by specific time. If I miss, I'll send a 30-second note with what broke and my adjustment. Renegotiation date, 4 weeks from today. Example, I'll write 200 ugly words daily. I'll text a screenshot by 9 p.m. If I miss, I'll send 50 words before midnight plus an adjustment. Renegotiate on the 28th. Notice the pieces. There's a floor, a proof, a deadline, and a recovery clause. No punishment, no drama, just a reset and a tweak. That recovery clause kills shame spirals before they start and teaches your brain that one miss isn't identity collapse. Proof artifacts matter. Use things that are hard to fake and easy to capture. A screenshot of your doc word count, a stopwatch photo after a mobility set, a photo of a page with one underlined sentence, a sent message count from your CRM, or a git commit screenshot. Keep the proof frictionless, under 30 seconds to send, or you'll resist the ritual. This next part separates beginners from pros. Clarity beats intensity. Your contract should specify the exact deadline and channel. By 9 p.m. via text is different from evening on WhatsApp. Predictability is the point. You want the smallest possible decision pathway between finishing the action and sending proof. Common mistakes to avoid. Vague promises like, I'll try to write more, don't change predictions. Huge standards like 1,000 words daily crack by day 3 and trigger shame. No check-in time means drift. No proof artifact invites rationalization. And stacking 5 contracts at once spreads accountability too thin. Start with one identity. Add a second only after 2 weeks of consistency. What about your witness's role? Keep it simple. They don't coach unless invited. Their job is to be a mirror. You can add a one-word reply rule, received, or a checkmark so you feel seen. If you want extra reinforcement, agree on a weekly 5-minute sync to glance at the streak and one friction fix. That's it. No lectures. Now, a micro story. A designer wanted to build a portfolio but kept stalling. We set a contract, 1 asset per day, sketch or wireframe photo by 8 p.m. Her friend replied with a single white heavy check mark nightly. By week 2, she'd shipped 9 assets and felt weird not sending proof. Her words, "It's like my phone expects the screenshot." That's prediction pressure doing its job. Okay, so the tricky part is life happens, travel, illness, deadlines. That's where renegotiation guards your identity. Contracts are living documents. If your schedule changes, renegotiate the floor, not the existence of the contract. Shrink the standard to keep the streak honest. 50 words becomes 25 words. 10 push-ups becomes 5 air squats. The point is continuity, not heroics. Add a lightweight escalation rule for misses. If you miss once, immediate micro win within 24 hours and a 1-sentence friction note. If you miss twice in a row, schedule a 5-minute call with your witness to adjust environment or time window. You're not paying penance, you're engineering the next win. Let's talk about group dynamics. Small pods, 2 to 4 people work best. Big groups breed anonymity. In a pod, each person posts proof to a single thread at a fixed time. Use a format: action, proof, 1-sentence insight. Keep it boring. Boring is repeatable. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Identity contracts remove choice at the moment you'd normally negotiate. They make the smallest version mandatory and everything extra optional. That's how you protect your floor and let consistency rewrite the ambitious but lazy story. Here's your quick win. Send a 2-sentence contract right now to one person you trust. I'll do floor daily. I'll send proof by time. First proof tonight. When they say yes, put a repeating reminder on your phone 15 minutes before deadline. Tonight, deliver. Tomorrow, repeat. 4 weeks from now, renegotiate up by 10% if it feels easy. Your identity will keep pace with your receipts. Anti-Relapse, the 24-hour reset and 2-down rule. Relapse isn't proof you're lazy, it's proof you're human. The danger isn't the miss, it's the meaning you give the miss. If you label it as identity failure, shame takes the wheel and you stall for days. We're going to install a reset ritual that turns any lapse into fuel within 24 hours and a simple guardrail, the 2-down rule, so slips never become slides. Why this matters? Your brain overweights recent evidence. One miss, interpreted as "I blew it," predicts more avoidance tomorrow. A miss, followed by a tiny win, predicts resilience. You're training your brain to expect recovery, not collapse. That's identity armor. Here's the protocol in plain language. Step 1, when you miss your floor or loop, don't negotiate. Run the 24-hour reset. That means, make one micro win that matches the identity within 24 hours, log it, label it, and write a one-sentence friction note. Step 2, apply the 2-down rule, never miss 2 identity days in a row. If you're about to, shrink the floor even further and do it now. Let me show you exactly how to run the reset. Micro-win, choose the smallest physical version of your standard. If your floor was 200 words, write 50. If your floor was 10 push-ups, do 3 air squats. If your floor was 5 pages, read 1 paragraph and underline 1 sentence. Log the exact action. Label after, I wrote, I trained, I studied. Then add 1 friction note. What broke? You might write, late Zoom ran long, no stage template, or phone on desk, doom scroll. That friction note is gold. It turns regret into a system tweak. If Zoom ran late, move your floor earlier or stage the doc before the meeting. If your phone killed the block, reapply the 2-wall boundary. If cramps or fatigue hit, reduce the floor for 2 days to flu-proof size. Each reset includes an edit, however small. Now the 2-down rule, never miss twice in a row. If you miss today, tomorrow's priority is a micro-win before noon. If noon passes, shrink further and do it immediately. The rule isn't punishment, it's timing. You're shrinking the gap so your prediction engine can't rewrite the story. Micro story. A client had a 50-day writing streak, missed on travel, then ghosted for a week. We installed the reset. Next morning, she wrote 25 words at the airport gate, snapped a screenshot, and labeled I wrote. She added a friction note, template not preloaded on iPad. Next trip, she exported the template to notes. She never lost more than 1 day again because recovery became a reflex. Okay, so the tricky part is when life piles up illness, family, exams. The reset still applies, but the floor shrinks further and the timeline widens slightly. Use the surge week rule. For 7 days of chaos, commit to a 30-second version of your floor. 1 sentence, 1 stretch, 1 highlighted line. Your only job is to preserve the identity bridge. Output can wait, continuity can't. Common mistakes to avoid. Trying to make up by doubling tomorrow. That raises friction and increases the chance you'll miss again. Changing everything after 1 miss. Adjust 1 lever, floor, time, or environment. Keep the rest constant so predictability survives. Hiding the miss. If you're using an identity contract, send the miss note plus your micro-win within 24 hours. Transparency lowers shame. Rewriting the goal out of frustration. Don't abandon the identity, abandon the obstacle. Keep the verb, shrink the standard, stage the prop. Here's a quick checklist you can memorize. Miss right arrow, micro-win, right arrow, log, right arrow, label, right arrow, friction note, right arrow, tiny edit, right arrow, tomorrow before noon. That's the whole play. Let's build your reset kit right now so it's ready before you need it. Pre-write a 1-line script on a sticky note. If I miss, I'll do tiny action, log it, and write 1 friction sentence. List your emergency tinies for each identity. 25 words, 3 squats, 1 paragraph, 1 outreach template paste. Place the sticky where your action happens, on the laptop lid, on the mat, in the textbook. Add a calendar reminder titled 2-down guardrail at 10 a.m. daily with your tinies. The reason this works is you're collapsing the recovery window. The longer you wait, the heavier the restart feels, and the more your brain predicts failure. A same-day or next morning micro-win keeps the cost low and the pattern intact. You're signaling, we start again immediately, which is the identity that actually carries you. If you remember nothing else, remember this: zeros break identities, not low numbers. Protect the not zero with the 24-hour reset and the 2-down rule. When you slip, shrink. When you stall, simplify. When you miss, move, just once, just a little, just today. Then log it, label it, and let tomorrow be normal again. Advanced identity stacking, role switching, and context tags. Single identity grind looks noble, but it's why you feel fried. When one role tries to carry your whole life, student, builder, partner, it gets dragged into every context. Your brain can't predict what on means, so it resists. Role switching fixes this. We'll create context tags, mini identities with clear floors and activation cues, so you snap into the right mode without arguing. Why this matters: decision fatigue usually hides in transitions. If your brain doesn't know which rules apply, it burns energy negotiating. Clear roles reduce conflict by narrowing what success means for the next block. It's less do everything and more do the next predictable thing. Here's the model. Pick 2 to 3 roles you actually use: writer patty, lifter patty, friend patty, builder patty, student patty. Each role gets 3 assets. A floor that counts, even on low energy. A physical or sensory cue that switches it on. A protected block where that role is allowed to exist. Keep the blocks short and separated. 2 focused role blocks per day is plenty. More than that, and switching costs creep back in. Now, activation cues. Wardrobe, playlist, workspace, even scent can become on switches. Hoodie and lo-fi for writer patty, cross trainers and an upbeat playlist for lifter patty, tidy desk with a single open dock for builder patty, tea mug and sofa light for friend patty. You're pairing a cue with a behavior so your brain predicts what comes next. Think of it as changing the UI of your day. Let me show you exactly how to wire a role. Writer patty. Floor, 200 ugly words. Cue, gray hoodie plus lo-fi playlist plus laptop on the writing desk. Block 10:00:10, 50 a.m., timer set, stop at alarm, log after. When the hoodie goes on, social tabs hide and the template file opens. When the alarm rings, hoodie off, quick reset, different cue for the next role. Lifter patty. Floor, 5 minutes of mobility or 1 set of squats. Cue, gym shoes by the door plus upbeat playlist, plus water bottle in hand. Block, immediately after lunch, 12:45, 1:15 p.m. Even if you're not lifting heavy, the floor protects the identity and keeps the schedule believable. Friend patty. Floor, 1 phone-free check-in text or a 20-minute tea chat. Cue, kettle on plus phone parked face down. Block, 7:38:00 p.m. recovery window. Relationships stop competing with work because they have a home and a simple measure. This next part separates beginners from pros. You don't blend roles inside blocks. Writer patty doesn't answer DMs, lifter patty doesn't outline videos, friend patty doesn't revise chapters. Blending forces your brain to hold conflicting rules and kills flow. Keep roles pure and switching stays crisp. Okay, so the tricky part is switching without losing momentum. Use a 90-second hinge ritual. End the first block with a visible done artifact, log the action, tick the box. Close tabs, clear the surface, and say the exit label, I wrote. Then perform the new cue, change the hoodie, swap the playlist, stand up, and move to the appropriate place. That hinge tells your brain the rules changed and arguments end. Common mistakes to avoid. Too many roles at once. Start with 2 core roles per day. Add a third only after a week of clean switches. Vague floors, each role needs a binary minimum. Work on business isn't a floor, send one outreach is. Reusing the same cue for every role. Distinct cues reduce crosstalk between identities. Make them obvious. Different chair, different lighting, different object on the desk. Context switching mid-sprint. If a thought for another role pops up, drop it in a later capture note and return. Protect the sprint boundary. Micro story. A software founder kept bleeding tasks into the evening. We split her day into 2 roles. Builder from 9:12 with a standing desk and single screen rule, friend from 7:8 with warm lamp and phone box. She wore a navy sweater for builder, a soft cardigan for friend. Within 2 weeks, late night doomwork vanished. Her line, the lamp tells me I'm off. That's context doing the heavy lifting. Use tags in your calendar titles to lock the identity. Instead of work, write writer, 200 ugly words, or builder, send 1 outreach. Put the FPM in the description. This gives your future self an obvious decision path when the notification hits. If you share your calendar with a partner or team, they'll start respecting those blocks as distinct too. Advanced tweaks. Sound tags. A 3-song takeoff playlist paired with each role so your brain recognizes the first notes as a runway. Object anchors. 1 object per role that lives only in that block. The hoodie, the specific pen, the gym band, the tea mug. Space shaping. Even in one room, shift chair angle or lighting color to mark the role. A cheap warm bulb for evening recovery makes friend patty feel different from builder patty. What about unavoidable overlaps? Urgent messages during writing, surprise meetings inside training? Use a role override rule. Overrides must meet two conditions, urgent and important. If not both, they queue. If they are, pause the current role, label the pause, and schedule a 5-minute identity micro-win at the next available slot to close the loop. Protect the identities from silent erosion. Here's your quick win. Pick 2 roles you'll run tomorrow. Define a floor for each. Choose 1 visual cue, 1 sound cue, and 1 space cue per role. Create 2 calendar blocks with tags and the FPM in the description. Stage props tonight. Hoodie on chair, shoes by door, kettle ready, playlist queued. Once you run clean switches for a week, your brain will start anticipating the next role before the cue even hits. That's prediction working for you. The weekly identity review, evidence, edits, and upgrades. Now that your roles are running, we'll lock them in with a weekly rhythm. Brains update identity from recent evidence, so a 15-minute review cements your progress and removes friction before it grows teeth. We'll run a 4-part loop: evidence tally, friction fixes, floor check, and 1 upgrade. Keep it light, boring, and consistent. Why this matters: without a review, drift becomes your default, and the ambitious but lazy story creeps back in. With a review, you turn your week into a lab. You don't judge, you measure, tweak, and move. That's how identity becomes reliable. Here's the loop clearly. Part 1, evidence tally. Count kept standards, not hours. Open your log and mark how many days you hit each floor or 5-minute loop. Example: writer 5-7 lifter, 4-7 student 4-7. Write 1 sentence about what made the kept days work: time, place, cue, or prop. That sentence is your recipe for the next week. Part 2, friction fixes. Use the 3F scan on anything you missed frequently. Ask, where was activation high, where was ambiguity, where was anxiety? Choose 1 tiny fix per identity. Activation fix, stage the template the night before. Ambiguity fix, rewrite Monday's tasks into FPMs. Anxiety fix, shrink the exposure, 1 message, not 3, and script it. Don't overhaul everything. 1 fix per role per week is enough. Part 3, floor check. Are your minimums still flu-proof? If you missed because the floor needed motivation, shrink it. 200 words becomes 100, 10 push-ups becomes 5 squats, 5 pages becomes 2 pages. Protect the no-zero rule first. If a floor felt automatic for a full week, consider raising it by no more than 10%. Never jump. Tiny increments keep predictions friendly. Part 4, 1 upgrade. Choose a single upgrade across all identities, not 1 per identity. Options: raise 1 floor 10%, add a constraint prop kitchen timer, install a better cue playlist, or clarify 1 system step, pre-fill doc headers nightly. Make the upgrade small enough to test in 3 days, then stop adding. The goal is steady identity growth, not novelty. Let me show you exactly how a 15-minute review looks on a Sunday. Minute 3, evidence tally. Count kept standards and write 1 sentence per identity. Morning block worked when phone was out of room. Mobility stuck when shoes were visible. Reading worked with tea at 8:30. Minute 3-7, friction fixes. Pick 1 fix per identity, write it on a card you'll see where action happens. Template open nightly. Draft 3 outreach names Sunday. Timer on desk. Minute 7-10, floor check. Shrink a failing floor. Lift a mastered one by 10%. Write the new numbers on your identity cards. Minute 10-12, 1 upgrade. Choose it and add it to your calendar as a tiny task on Monday. Minute 12-15, schedule. Drop 3 peak hour identity blocks into the week and paste 1 FPM in each description. Done. Micro story. A client felt stuck at 3-7 writing days. In her review, she saw all wins happened when the doc was open from the night before. Her friction fix was simple: close day by opening tomorrow's template. She kept the floor at 100 words and added 1 upgrade, a kitchen timer. Next week, 5-7. No hype, just a small environmental nudge. Common mistakes to avoid. Endless recaps. You need counts and 1-sentence insights, not essays. Changing 5 things at once. You can't isolate what worked. Raising floors because you're excited. Wait for automatic before adding load. Skipping the calendar. If it isn't scheduled, it's imaginary. Use this card format to keep it visible. Evidence, W57, T47, S47. Fixes, open template. Names list on Sunday, timer on desk. Floors, W200 right arrow, 220 if automatic. T stays 5 minutes. S 2 pages steady. Upgrade, add phone box to desk. Here's your quick win. Schedule a repeating 15-minute review on Sundays. Title it Identity Review, Evidence, Edits, Upgrade. Place a blank index card and pen where you'll sit. When Sunday arrives, run the loop once. You'll feel calmer because your identity no longer depends on vibes. It depends on receipts and simple edits. The big idea, you're not lazy. Your brain predicts based on friction, clarity, energy timing, and the evidence you feed it. Change the inputs and the prediction changes. Now act. Pick one identity verb, set a tiny floor, and run a 5-minute loop today. Cue, action, log, label. Drop your 2-sentence identity contract in the comments so we can be your witness. Subscribe for the advanced playbook and watch the next video on building a deep focus setup that makes work feel automatic.